Welcome back, everybody, for another show over here on Destination Devy. This time, back to doing what we do. The Dynasty Trade Show is back, and I'm excited to be joined by one of my good friends in the industry. He started out as a patron over at Destination Devy, patreon.com/allgas, but you may know him better for the work that he does on DestinationDevy.com, breaking down trades, very thorough, really in-depth with how he processes. I trust this dude's mind. I trust how he processes trades, how he dynasties. I'm in leagues with him, so I promise you, you are going to be in great hands with my man, my dog, Ty DeClaire, who's going to join me on this episode of the Dynasty Trade Show. And y'all might see Ty DeClaire in that big brushy beard a little bit more over on DD. But let's get into the show, baby. Let's go.
Okay, let's get it. Bitch, let's get it. Woo!
Ty, what's happening with you, baby? How you doing, Ty?
We did it.
Got you on the screen. Ty DeClaire is here. Ty, where can people find you at on X?
At Ty DeClaire 44, basically wherever you look on the internet. So there you go.
And Ty, real quick before we get into it, just your level of dynasty engagement, involvement, why you like the aspect of thinking through trades, wheeling and dealing. What is it about this part of the dynasty game that you enjoy so much, man?
Yeah, I started to get into Dynasty after I stopped playing ball. I played for about 16 years, played some D3, played a little bit of CIS up in Canada. And really, I just fell in love with the idea of being able to construct something that I love. And something I've learned throughout the time that I've been here is there's different motivations to trade. Some people just want to win. Some people want to help each other and grow something. For me, I love to be active. I want to talk some ball. I want to chop it up. I want to try different strategies. I want to be creative with what I do. And that just led me down a bunch of paths. It led me to yourself, listening to you on some old podcasts. I think I was right when we were going through JT's rookie hype season. That's when I really started to tune in. And since then, just grown and grown and grown, really just started to understand the why behind what I'm doing. And hopefully I can explain some of that why on the show today.
Well, let's get it. People are here to look at some trades, get some ideas and things they could do, should do, or need to do in their leagues. Let's pull up the trades. We're using the Dynasty Trade channel over in our Discord. There are plenty of them. I mean, day and night, people submitting trades. It's a dope community. We'll read off the starting lineup, the roster kind of stuff, the scoring format, and just give our thoughts as to these trades. We are not going to pull up any tools or anything like that. If you want that in-depth stuff, you got to come join the squad. But let's pull it up and see what we got on the board, Ty. And I see one right here, right at the bottom of the screen. We've got a team. This is a 12-team start 11 single quarterback PPR league, Ty. So we've got Isaiah Pacheco and the 204 being traded for Zach Charbonnet and the 109. So again, 12-team start 11 1 QB PPR. Isaiah Pacheco and the 204. Or Zach Charbonnet and the 109. Where you at with this one, Ty?
The one quarterback of it all really makes me like flip out on what I'm thinking, because I look at this from a super flex lens. It makes sense. It's an up tier, it's a down tier, but come one quarterback, like what is a late first worth in one quarterback? But in this 2024 draft, I think that it does have a lot of depth. Those firsts are going to matter some. But I think at the end of the day, I'm willing to bet that gap from 109 to 204 really isn't that big. And like, I love Zach Charbonnet, not as much as our boy Cody, but I mean, Pacheco's done it. You're probably not getting much for Pacheco on the open market, but my gut says give me Pacheco in the second. I can probably do the same thing with the second that I can do with the 109 in a day.
Yeah, 12-team start 11. It's single quarterback. The delta and the gap between the player that you're going to get at 109 and 204. If you're talking about good night, I'm fine. I'm fine
Right.
with the 204. I'd rather Isaiah Pacheco over Zach Charbonnet. I think it's as simple as that. I don't think we need to dive into this one anymore. Give me Pacheco in the 204 in a 12-team start 11 single quarterback PPR league over Zach Charbonnet and the 109. Here's another one. We've got it from our boy Nick Pick 6. Devy lineup, 12-team start 13. So we're starting 13. That's a hefty league. 2 QB. Yep. And 2 tight end, 1.5 tight end premium, and 0.15 per carry. So this is a league where there's a lot of scoring here. We're talking about tight ends. You got to start 2, 1.5 premium. You're getting 0.15 per carry, and it's start 13. So you got one side of the trade ledger receiving Brandon Ayuk and Jahmyr Gibbs. The other side receiving Dallas Goedert and Marvin Harrison Jr. So in a league like this, where the tight ends matter, where the running backs matter because you're getting points per carry, what side of the trade ledger would you rather have? I know where I'm at pretty comfortably as well, but where are you at, Ty?
I'm interested we're going to be on the same side because in a format like this, 2 tight ends, 1.5 premium, my gut just says I still don't want to overpay for those middle tier guys, right? Give me the top, or I think I can still construct around it. So while Goddard fits the format, in quotes, it's still not something that I'm overly chasing. Now, I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., we all know him. We don't got to go into him. But, I mean, you held him this long. I mean, you had to give him up today. Okay, that's fine. All right. On the other side, we got Brandon Ayuk, our Trinity guy, right? Trust the Trinity. Ayuk's been incredible so far. What his future holds, we'll see. And you got Jahmyr Gibbs, one of the few running backs that I actually want in Dynasty and I think has power on the market. I'm going to take Gibbs and Ayuk here because I think at the end of the day, I can do the same thing with Ayuk that I can do with Harrison for roster construction purposes. I think I want Gibbs, and I can build around Gibbs more so than I can build around like a Goddard.
Yeah, and I want Ayuk and Gibbs, and I understand the value that Marvin Harrison brings, what you could probably trade for him. But if you're talking about making this move now for your roster, I want Brandon Ayuk and I want Jahmyr Gibbs. I understand the value of the tight end where you got to start 2, get the 1.5 premium, but I'm not paying up for Dallas Goedert. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs. Give me Brandon Ayuk. Good stuff, Nick. I like your side of the trade on this one. We've got another one. This is an 8-team, 2 QB, start 10. Only have to start 1 running back in this format. So you only got to start 1 RB. You've got Jalen Waddle, Travis Etienne, Rashid Shaheed, and Tank Bigsby. So you got the Jacksonville backfield. You got Waddle. You got Rashid Shaheed in a 8-team, 2 QB start 10. Being traded for DK Metcalf, Zamir White, the 108, the 203, and the 206. So let's talk through this one, Ty. How are you feeling about an 8-team? Let's just start 8 teams. Everybody probably has a stacked roster. Everybody probably has a stacked roster. You're only starting 10, and you only got to start 1 running back. Would you rather be on the side of the Kleiner 11 or tier swap?
So, I mean, I've never been in an 8-team league. Like I said, I assume it's going to be the guys at the top really matter. So, I mean, honestly, I think we can pretty much say Shaheed, Bigsby,
don't even.
Zamir White, like nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm good that you can just take them off there. So we're looking Waddle and ETN for DK and a slew of picks in a deep draft. I'll take the pick side. I think at the end of the day, I think Waddle, ETN are probably the best players in the deal. But I think DK can cancel out one of those, and I'll take the picks over a running back any day.
And that's how I looked at it, too. And if you just look at Shaheed and Bigsby, if you take the ancillary pieces, I probably in a start 10, Zamir White, you only got to start 1 running back, whatever. But DK and Waddle sort of cancel each other out. You get the 108, the 203, and the 206. I'll just take the liquidity of the picks. I'll take whatever assets I'll get from that. I'll take the DK Zamir White in the pick side as well in a start 10, 8-team league. And I too have not played in any 8-team leagues. Here we go. We got one from our man Dogtown, who is a very active and busy patron over in our Heisman group. This is a 12-team, what is this? Superflex 2.0 tight end premium. And you've got A.J. Brown and a 25 first being traded for Sam LaPorta, Jared Stidham, and the 307.
Yeah. So, I mean, shout out to Dogtown, right? And I mean, shout out to the Oracle as well. I've written a couple trades, the Trade of the Week article that had the Oracle in it, probably in a previous Dogtown trade. But basically, I mean, yeah, LaPorta fits the format, right? The 2.0 tight end premium, like he's the stud. We've talked about LaPorta at length, right? But when we talk about the delta between certain things, LaPorta and AJ Brown, if you want to look at it from a startup standpoint, they're probably around the same spot. Like probably around what you can do. I think
FFPC drafts, he's going in the second round right now, and that's where AJ Brown is right there.
Right. So, I mean, if you look at the war chart, I think Sam LaPorta can probably give you the higher spikes, but I assume AJ Brown is probably going to give you the more consistency, and I'm probably much higher, like what you can actually construct around. And I want a 25 first over Stidham and a 307 by leaps and bounds. So I'm going to take the AJ Brown and 25 first side. And I think I took my AJ Brown bias out of this one, but I don't know. What are you on the same side here?
Yeah, this is I think this is a really, really crafty trade by Dogtown, because there's no doubt about it. He's giving up a absolute superstar of a player in Sam LaPorta. I mean, this is a guy who's ranked Dynasty tight end 1 and a player that in a 2-point tight end premium league should score you a lot of points. But the fact that you are getting another elite wide receiver back who should also be good in this format, as well as a 25 first-round pick on top of it, like, I'm fine with making this deal. And I'm sure that's the side of the deal that I think won this side. I think that is the better package of this deal. But the team that got Sam LaPorta and they got whatever hopium exists in Jarrett Stidham at that 307, they probably feel good as well. But, man, paying that 25 first and A.J. Brown, it's a little too rich even for the format for me. Give me A.J. Brown and the 25 first. We're going to get something to where we disagree, but let's scroll up a little bit more. And I love seeing Justin Fields trades. I want to see more Fields trades. Let's see if we got we don't even have the damn roster stuff here, so I don't know what the format is, what the settings are. And Todd, just so you know, whenever I see this in the chat, I don't even address them. If you don't put the stuff in there, I don't do it. But for the sake of this is your first time, I'm trying to be polite here, and it's Justin Fields. Let's talk about it. Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, Justin Fields and Ty Chandler in a vacuum. Let's just say 12-team, start 10, start 11, PPR Superflex. Would you rather Kupp and Stafford, the two old guys, right? That old stack, right? Look how quick that stack got stale. That stack got stale real quick. It took one season for that thing to stale out. And then you got Fields and whatever is about to happen with him. Looks like he's going to be shipped off. And Ty Chandler. What side would you want in this deal?
In a vacuum, I like to win. I like to build my teams in a way that they can win, and I like to think about how I can construct better around things. I like to get best bang for my buck assets where I can, and I like to trade off things that I think could plummet in value pretty quickly if things don't break right. I'm taking Stafford and Kupp here because, one, I love good stack, right? Two, if we're betting on Puka having a good outcome, that probably means that we're betting on Stafford having a good outcome. And I feel pretty good betting on someone like a Puka having a good outcome. And I think that a Puka showing up, while on paper you might think less targets for Kupp bad, I think Kupp's going to, I think it almost maybe increases the runway that Kupp has because he doesn't have to do the same volume that he can, and he can be an efficient player, right? So I'm going to take Stafford and Kupp. You're going to, I bet we're probably going to get to mine and my Chief Heath's trade with Justin Fields, and we'll probably talk about Fields a little bit later, in the show here. But Ty Chandler, if you can sell that hopium, do it right now. I'd rather do that before someone signs there in free agency. He's a great guy. I want to hold him on my 0 RB rosters, but I'm not actively counting him in a trade as any kind of income.
Let me make the case for the Fields side. I think the only reason I would want Fields and Ty Chandler is for ADV, artificial dynasty value. Right now, today, we're recording this on Thursday, March 7th. The outcome or the landing spot for Fields is slim. And the only spot that looks like Pittsburgh said they're out, they have no interest. Everything that we're hearing from Atlanta is that's Kirk Cousins. So it really feels like the Las Vegas Raiders are the spot. And I don't know if you agree, Ty, but it's just my opinion that even a trade with the Raiders I think he's in a battle, whatever you want to call it, a competition with Aiden O'Connell and potentially whomever else they bring in, whether that be a rookie or a veteran. But if he got traded, there would be some hope and enthusiasm that Fields would smash at his next destination. And if the Minnesota Vikings don't invest high draft capital in a running back or sign a running back or at least a big name running back in free agency, just say they go get, a pedestrian runner, somebody that's fine but not great, people will have some hope that Ty Chandler would be the guy. So if you acquired Fields and Chandler, here's what I'll say. have a plan. Have the dynasty discipline to when Fields gets moved, if that happens, and if Chai Chandler, I don't want to even say survives free agency in the draft, but looks like he's going to have a role, have the dynasty discipline to make the move, because I don't think that Stafford and Kupp are very liquid at all. Like, I don't know how liquid they are or how many people actually want to acquire those guys. Probably best acquired in a package. So right here, I'm just making the case for the Fields and Chandler side. Golly, man, that's what you're trading Fields for? Freaking Stafford? Man, that's I'm glad
come a long way, hey?
Yeah, I've rid myself of all Justin Fields. I have liquidated all my Field shares. I traded him this past week for Bryce Young straight up. I'm out. Give me the re-roll on Bryce. He's got like 2 more years to be half-ass decent. So you said we might roll into one of your trades, but not yet. We've got a 12-team, start 10, half-point tight end premium. So 1.5 tight end premium, 12-team, start 10. One side receiving Dalton, Kincaid, and Justin Fields. Traded away A.J. Brown, Michael Mayer, and a 25 seconds. Ty, where you at, man?
So in a start 10, 0.5 tight end premium, how far is the delta between Kincaid and Mayer? Just off the hop. Like
I think it's a pretty big gap
for Kincaid. Okay, so can you say it's Mayer in the second for Kincaid? Is that too much on the Mayer side?
I think you probably need to add I think you need to add a little more to Mayer in a second to get Kincaid, in my opinion. I think it would take Mayer in 2 seconds for Kincaid. I mean, Kincaid's a top 5 dynasty tight end. Mayer, people like him, but he hadn't proven shit. So I think it's a little. I don't think that's equivalent. But continue down. Let's just say, for the sake of the trade, Mayer in the second for Kincaid. I'd take the Kincaid side.
Sure. And if we're talking A.J. Brown versus Fields, I'm taking the A.J. Brown side. And I'm going to let my bias take the lead here. I think I could do a lot more with A.J. Brown. I think he can give you higher weekly output at a position that I want to construct around. But I think that Fields does have the highest weekly ceiling if he hits that spot and gets the start and has the opportunity. But that's a lot of boxes to check before I feel like he reaches that.
Let me just ask you this. A.J. Brown for Fields straight up. You're taking A.J. Brown 365 days out of 366, right? It's not even close.
Leap years included, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess in the format, just 1.5 tight end premium, start 10. I don't value Kincaid as highly, so I think that's where it is. I had to go back. It's start 10. I can get by with Mayer and somebody else, even if Kincaid hits this elite theoretical ceiling. This is just me personally. I don't want to deal with the Justin Fields volatility. I'm not being a Fields hater, none of that stuff. I just don't want to be left holding the bag if we get to a point in this offseason where he doesn't have a starting job and he's got to assume that Marcus Mariota role, that Baker Mayfield path to where he's going to be a backup quarterback. And you start looking at the 32 teams, and I just think that is a more realistic possibility and outcome than people want to believe. Give me A.J. Brown, Michael Mayer in the 25 second and the start 10. I do think you can get by with Mayer and be fine with whatever tight ends you can find inside of that league. So let's continue to move on. Oh, boy. You talk about just nasty right here. Just dirty, nasty names. It looks like somebody got bailed out of a QJ share. So here's one right here from Pistol Pete 26. Got this one done a week ago, but never posted it. Was a little scared to post this one, Pistol Pete. I don't know why you got off of Quentin Johnston. 12-team Superflex start 11, 1.75 tight end premium. For me, that's where the tight end premium actually starts to matter. 1.75 is when they start to matter. So Pistol Pete gave up DeMario Douglas, who I like. Trinity, I believe, was in the 6s. So nice complimentary player. Got Quentin Johnston and the 206. And in return, he received Will Levis, the 304 and the 404. Where you at, Ty?
I mean, this is one I just kind of want to line the assets up. Like Will Levis or 206?
Will Levis.
Right. If Will Levis starts, Will Levis is the smart process move that you pay a second, you get a starting quarterback. Sure. Okay. 304 or Pop Douglas. I think that's pretty fair. That's fair, right?
That's fair.
In a start 11, that's pretty fair. Like
fair.
I know what I can probably get at that 304 if I had to draft today, but there's probably some certain situations. Again, I like Pop Douglas. Shout out to Ben Mason. He put me on to Pop Douglas
too.
in the offseason. Yeah. Now, QJ or 404, Ray?
I would take Quentin Johnston over the 404. I know that is not a popular opinion, but I would take Quentin Johnston over the 404. Yes.
That feels like the floor price, right? Like
Correct.
That's the buy asset price.
Yes.
I'm gonna take Levis to 304 on that side. Again, I'm just gonna take. This is where it's bet making season in Dynasty. I'm gonna take the bet that Will Levis is gonna get the start, and I'm gonna take that 304, and then I'm gonna do something with that 304 and that 404. And I'm assuming that I've constructed properly, so Douglas and QJ weren't finding their way into my lineup anyways. So let me liquidate them. 206, I'll pay that for Levis, sure.
Yeah, I'll pay that all day for Levis. And 206 is going to be a nice pick. And a start 11, that's going to be a good – that could be RB1 in the class. That could be Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson. But to get a quarterback that you know is going to be the starter, it's a completely different offense. It's changed with Brian Callahan. If all I got to pay is a 206 to get Will Levis and I'm giving up Pop and I get in return the 304, which could also be a really solid quality receiver, maybe a Malachi Corley, a Jamari Thrash, a Brendan Rice, Ricky Pearsall, maybe depending on the league, I would take the reroll. Give me Will Levis to 304 and the 404, but in a vacuum, give me QJ over the 404. If I can get QJ for a fourth rounder, you might see old GQ over some sleeper deals. I might take a shot on QJ, and I know the chat's going to be, some people are going to be like, hell no, give me the 404 over that Quentin Johnston. So let's move up a little bit more. We got one right here. 12-team Superflex start 9, okay? 1 point PPR, so standard PPR. Need a third QB at 103 or may go neighbors. Here's the deal. Got Anthony Richardson and the 103 being acquired for Joe Burrow and Jalen Waddle. This is a deal. I like this, Ty. And I'm going to just say, give me ARich in the 103. Yeah. I want ARich in the 103. This is a nice deal right here. What do you think?
I think this is a great way to not capitalize, but maybe like Joe Burrow, people got kind of cold on him, right? Like he's not dropping, he's not like his floor is there, but him just not being that elite asset, it reduced the amount of his liquidity. You know, especially to those competing rosters when he wasn't playing, like what's the point? I'm kind of looking next year. ARich kind of in that same lane, but ARich gives you that, I'm going to say, probably more weekly ceiling than Burrow in the right format. If it's like something that more so suits like a running quarterback, I think it's close enough. You can just cross ARich and Burrow off. And if you're going to give me 103 for Waddle, I will pay the airplane ticket, the Uber over, the meal on the plane. Waddle can go.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm with you as well. And here you go. So why don't you go ahead and set us up for this deal that you made? I have not seen this. Looks like you sent away a Justin Fields. Well, or Chief Heath sent away a Justin Fields. Yeah. Oh, y'all are on a co-managing a team. Go ahead. Y'all sent away a Fields. Talk about it.
Yeah, me and Heath go way back. He kept me in line on Dynasty trades for a couple of years while I was really finding my balance and trying to understand the market and everything. Well, we share a league here, and actually Gabe's league. 12 teams, start 10, PPR, tight end. Is that 1.5 tight end premium? It's a point per first down.
1.5, yep.
Yeah, 4-point passing touchdown. Okay, so we sent away Justin Fields, Jerry Jeudy, and Ty Chandler, and we got back Jared Goff, 211, 301, and the 25 second. So this was on the heels of the old GQ Fields liquidation after your 47 asset trade, whatever that one was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that got us thinking, and we had a team here where we have Jalen Hurts at quarterback. We made a bet wrong and ended up with a Pickett share. So we did have a kind of a need at our quarterback there, but we felt pretty strongly if we could just like swap out that Fields for something and then get a little bit more liquidity on a team where we had, I think Jeudy was our wide receiver 5, and Ty Chandler was maybe running back 6. There's no way Ty Chandler is going to make her way into the roster. So this is about 6 counters deep. Ty Chandler, Jeudy, and Fields were all players that this other manager asked for in counters. And instead of taking those players out because, no, we want them, we value them, I actually kind of like them, we use that. Okay, you want that? Sure. How about you give us one of these seconds? And we were trying to get up to like the 201, maybe the 109, like kind of in there. And that was a no-go. But I mean, you just came back to what was the goal here? Let's move on from Fields.
Yes.
Get that Goff, right? Jerry Jeudy, love him in the Trinity. I think he's slept on, honestly. And I think if Denver's offense switches around, which I can see the narrative happening in a couple months here probably, I like Jeudy. But if you're going to pay me a 211 and a 25 second, I'm pretty okay with that because I feel like I can fill probably that same need as that wide receiver 5. I want to go wide receiver, but I can do a lot more with a 211 and a second in a trade than I probably can Jeudy. And if you give me a 301 for Chandler, again, have at it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, so it was I think it's like in my head it makes sense in the context, but I think it's also just a good deal if you're trying to get some liquidity and still keep your quarterback too.
And when I look at this, I'm trying to do the math, right? So let's just say 211 and the 25 second for Jeudy, the 301 for Chandler. I don't think there's a shot in hell anybody in Dynasty is going to give up Jared Goff for Justin Fields straight up. Like, I just don't believe that would be the case. So the fact that you got Goff and, you only really, in my opinion, gave up Jerry Jeudy, which I like Jerry Jeudy. You like Jerry Jeudy. If you trust the Trinity, he's probably a really good receiver that was just kind of in a bad situation. And, Judy's got some issues of his own, but you really didn't give up much in this deal. And you got the better quarterback. You got the more liquid assets. Even though Jeudy and Chandler have some chance and potential to be really good scorers, give me Jared Goff in the pick side. I think this was a good deal that you and Chief Heath done. I like that deal a lot. So, we got to talk. I'm going to pull this one up. Let's pull this one up, and I still can't see the damn thing, but I'm going to read it out. We've got Bryce Young and Jackson Smith and Jigba in the 104. So Bryce, JSN in the 104 being acquired for Joe Burrow and Kenneth Walker.
That 104 really.
There are no settings on here, so you know what? We don't go. We're not doing it. You got to put the stuff in there, and it doesn't even look like the damn trade was accepted.
Oh, it's a pending. Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, it was a pending. I don't even know if he did or not. Yeah, we can't. Hey, when that happens, you get the sad trombone. We can't do that. We cannot do that on the show. You got to do better. All right, here we go. I don't want to talk about Luke Musgrave or Hunter Henry, but let's just say, would you trade Puka Nacua for the 106?
No, I would not.
No, I wouldn't either. I would not either. I wouldn't do that either. We got a lot of deals in here. Here we go. 12-team Superflex start 10, 6-point per passing touchdown, full PPR, half point for tight end premium, coming out of a rebuild with a loaded core and a ton of picks. Here it is right here. We've got one side acquiring Josh Allen, the other side, Justin Herbert, the 107, the 202, and the 307. Is this enough in a 6-point per passing touchdown league? Start 12 teams, start 10. Are you moving your Allen for Herbert, the 107, the 202, and the 307?
No, I don't think I am. I like the depth of this class. I like what I can do with those picks and those ranges, and I think you're going to get some pretty cool players in those ranges, but it just comes down back to the start 10 of it all. In the same way that people are kind of cooling on Joe Burrow or just down on certain, I think Justin Herbert has a lot of stink on him just from simply that change the Harbaugh, right? And I don't know what's going to happen for Herbert. It's probably a buy low for him. And like I said, if I tell you that I'm moving Allen, I'm getting a first and then a couple picks back, that's fine. I'm going to lean Allen because I feel like I can probably get something similar to this most times. Right, so I'm going to take Allen in this case.
Would you let me flip the question around? Would you actively send your Herbert, the 107, the 202, and the 307 for Allen? Would you actively send that out?
On a certain team, yeah. Like if Herbert's my quarterback 2 or 3, right? 107, I'm basically banking on a Bowers, a JJ, or maybe a Rome falls, right? Cool. Like, again, if I'm constructed right on a team, I'm pretty okay moving that pick for something that I see as an upgrade at one of the more important positions. 202, I could probably snag a lead McConkey, maybe 3 something cool. I'm still going to take Allen. I think I'm just going to upgrade. I'm going to put my money I'm going to park my money, as Ben Mason would say, in the best asset in Dynasty currently, and that's Josh Allen.
Oh, this is an interesting one right here, Ty. We've got Kirk Cousins in the 104 being acquired for Jordan Love and Kyren Williams. 12-team start 11 lineup league, 6 point per passing touchdown, 0.5 for the premium of a tight end. So do you want Love and Kyren, or do you want Captain 2 Change Kirk Cousins in the 104? This is a good one. I'm going to just tell you, man, I know people are enthusiastic about Cousins, but maybe it's some Achilles bias. But in my mind, I keep thinking, I know he's coming back from a torn Achilles, and I don't know. Maybe quarterbacks will be fine. I don't know. I want Jordan Love over Kirk Cousins, no doubt about it. I want the 104 over Kyren Williams. Let's be clear. If I can get that done, I mean, everybody's doing that move. But the delta between Cousins and Love versus the delta between 104 and Kyren Williams, I'm going to assume you make this move and you send away your 104 to get Kyren and Love. You are a contending team. What side would you rather be on? Let's take it from if you're a contender or, hell, a rebuilding team, what side would you rather have?
Yeah, if I'm a rebuilding team, I'm not trying to trade for running backs, nor am I trying to pay up for the outlier running back. So if I'm rebuilding, I'm probably not moving for Kyren. But in my head, I'm trying to figure out who is the best player in this deal in like the general dynasty space. Is it Jordan Love or is it the 104? And that's what I'm trying to weigh out. I'm pretty sure if I looked at startup ADP, Jordan Love would be higher than the 104. I'm assuming that case because he has that quarterback label. But I think you could probably get a quarterback in the same range of outcomes as Jordan Love at the 104, or you can get that neighbors like that smash spot. I think it's close enough in my mind. You can cross Love and the 104 off. Right, I can see myself setting the 104 for Love. I can see myself accepting the 104 for Love on kind of different sides of trades. If you're asking me Kyren versus Kirk, I'm going to take Kyren when I'm trying to win.
That's the correct answer.
Right? Again, I don't think I'm making the deal for Kyren if I'm rebuilding. That's just kind of I can't take that next step in that without acknowledging that, you know?
Yeah, this one is tough because initially I'm just like, give me Love and Kyren. Like, give me Love and Kyren. Yeah. But the play for me would be, let's just say this was a rebuilding team and they wanted to get off of Cousins. And again, I don't know if you should be sending the 104. I would not be doing that. But have a plan. This is what I'm going to preach about this until I'm red in the face. Have a plan. Have the dynasty discipline. Have a plan. If I were the team that acquired Love and Kyren, you're not gonna win your fantasy league March 7th. Like, you're just not.
Correct.
I would be trying to shop Kyren. I would be right now. I'd be like, what can I get for Kyren Williams? And I would do that before the NFL draft. I don't know if he's going to get buried in free agency, and there's still a very good chance that Kyren Williams is dope in the season. But I would see if I can liquidate Kyren. What can I turn that into? Just whether that be picks, whether that be other players. I just don't want to move that 104, but I would much rather Jordan Love over Kirk Cousins. And in a vacuum, give me Love and Kyren, but I don't like moving off of the 104. I'll just say that. I don't like moving off of the 104. Let's move on.
You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan.
Right. And there goes an article from you. Nice little plug right there. Best Ball Dynasty Trade Analysis. So, Ty, the people know that I wasn't just BSing. Like, you do this. And
it's there.
In these pieces, it's much more in-depth as to why and the how and the process of the deals. So let's take a look at,
Hey.
Brody, what did he do? 12-team Superflex Start 11 in my favorite format, Best Ball. Wanted off of the Fields train. He gave up Ja'Marr Chase and Justin Fields and got back Anthony Richardson and Puka Nacua.
I need a sounder here, right? Yeah.
There it is.
Thank you.
You want Ric Flair? Ric Flair woo? Little Ric Flair woo? There it is. Little Ric Flair. Yeah. Ric Flair drip. I mean, what do we need to talk about here? Well, I mean,
look at my little comment down there is what we can talk about. Nasty work here by Brody.
Nasty work from Brody. Absolutely. I mean, best player in the deal. I mean, Ja'Marr Chase, like Ja'Marr. But the gap between Fields and Anthony Richardson is like as wide as the damn Grand Canyon. Like, it's not, give me ARich every day of the week. Jamar Chase, he's being valued anywhere from Dynasty wide receiver 1 to 3, right? He's in that range, 1 to 3, depending on who you talk to. Puka Nacua is right there, 6, 7, 8 range. So a much tighter delta. And in that, and at that level, the replacement value that he's get, like, he is a difference-making still type wide receiver. Yes. I mean, give me ARich and Puka Nacua. This is a smash. And I don't know how the hell Brody got this done, but my goodness.
Yeah, no further comments needed. Honestly, it's a smash deal.
All right. What do we have here? There's a lot of reading. And I don't want to do all that. So we got Superflex, Start 10, half PPR, 1.25 tight end premium. So even less than 1.5. Like, I just it ain't premium. It ain't premium-y enough for me to really give a shit about tight end. So you got one side receiving Rashee Rice, Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, and Tajay Spears. For Puka Nacua, Dalton Schultz, the 307 and the 402.
Okay.
Give me Rice, Adams, Henry, and Spears. Do you feel any differently?
Best player in the deal, Puka. And then Rice, Adams, Spears, Henry, and then Schultz, and then the pick. So yeah, I'll take the Rice package. You're taking, like, I think, a step down in Rice, and I think you're probably buying Rice at more or less his ceiling price. If I had to project, right? Even with that, you're getting back Adams, who's going to give you again that probably same production you've seen from Adams most years.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry, I'm not. Yeah, I want this.
Listen, here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you make this deal, I'm going to assume if you're trading for the old crusties, Derrick Henry's and the Adams, you're trying to go get it. Derrick Henry's going to land on a spot. Like, he ain't dust. Understand that. Yeah. You traded away Schultz, Nacua, and 2 picks that historically don't matter from a WAR perspective for 4 starters. Henry's going to start in a new spot. It could be Baltimore. Hell, it could be Dallas. He'll be a starting running back. Spears is going to be the primary back, or at least the 1A in Tennessee. And then Adams and Rice are both starting receivers. Is an easy deal. In the start 10, give me Rice, Adams, Henry, and Spears. Legit, all 4 probably plug into a starting lineup right away. So like that deal quite a bit. What do we have right here? We got some laughter. Let's see what we got. Here we go. This is from our man Goat Rings, a frequent visitor of many Dynasty trade channels. But we got one right here. I want to focus on this one down here. Got 10-team, best ball, full PPR, 175 tight end premium. QB, Stroud, ARich, Stafford. He's got his own 101, 102. Now he got the 109. Sent Kyler Murray away. Kyler Murray in the 107 for the 101 in JMO. Talk about this one, Ty, because I think his team matters. But let's not focus on his team. Let's look at the deal first. Would you rather Kyler in the 107 or the 101 in JMO? I would rather Kyler in the 107.
Yeah. Like, without any context, I'm going to take Kyler in the 107. I think I can do probably more with that package. And from a point scoring perspective, I probably will come out ahead on that side too. Right? Now,
here's the context. He already on his roster had Stroud, ARich, and Stafford. So he had a surplus at the quarterback position. He already had the 102. He has the 109. He secured the 101. So let's just assume he goes Caleb Marv with 1-2. Caleb Marv, JMO, or Kyler Murray and Brock Bowers.
Yeah, and if we know anything about our man Goat Rings, that 101, he ain't making that pick. Right. That's getting packaged up somewhere else to do something else with. Right.
Yeah.
Again, if you're looking format and you have to choose those players, I'll still take Kyler in the 107, because even if I have a surplus, while I'm still trying to sell from that excess, I'm not just giving discount prices, right? Yeah. But again, it was a 10 team. Do we know how many starters?
10 team.
Does it say how many starters? Just 10 team, no amount of starters.
I don't know. Probably 10 or 11.
Right. It's shallow enough where the 107 is still going to give you a positional player that you can use weekly, right? Or at least sell the hopium of that, right? At worst, you're probably looking at a Brock Bowers, or a Rono Dunze. So I like the Kyler Murray side. I get why you did it. I think you're going to do more with that 101 than you did in this deal, and I think it's going to eventually be a plus. But in that particular deal, even with the context, I'll take Murray and the 107.
Murray and the 107. All right. We'll get a few more, and then we'll wrap this episode up. 12-team Superflex PPR tight end premium. I'm a top 4 team with ARich, Dak, Goff, and Deshaun Watson at QB. Could add Bowers, Rome, McCarthy to the squad. Here's the deal. Jared Goff and Dak Prescott got kicked out the room. He's got ARich and Deshaun Watson left for the 107, 108, and the 406. Dak for the 107, Goff for the 108. You doing either of those deals?
I think I'm doing those deals. Yeah, I'm taking the quarterbacks.
You're taking the quarterbacks, right?
I'm taking the quarterbacks, yeah. Now, if I have ARich and Watson, I'm much more hesitant to pay that price and acquire 2 more quarterbacks. But, yeah, I can never read MFL either. I assume he's sending those quarterbacks away. Right?
I think he sent Goff and Dak away.
So he's Kai Buckeye. So Uncle sent the 107 and the 108 to Kai for Goff and Dak. Yeah, so he traded away the quarterbacks. I get you're a top 4 team. I'm not sending away the quarterbacks for that. I'm sorry. And I'm probably not sending them both away in the same package either.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done both, man. I would have kept one of the quarterbacks. If you want to send Goff for the 107, cool. If you want to do that, to add a Bowers or a Rome Odunze, I don't have a problem with that. But, we like ARich and we love his potential, but he played 4 games. We need to see it a little bit more. And Deshaun Watson is hanging on by a thread. So that could go south quick. That's probably not a bet that I would make personally, and I wouldn't have sent both of them away. I would have kept Dak or Goff, whoever you prefer, and gotten one of the picks, but I would have definitely kept one of those quarterbacks. So let's go 2 more, and then we'll close this one out. Here we go, 14 by 11, 14 team, start 11, super flex, 6-point per passing TD, and it's a 1.75 tight end premium. This is my type of league. This is where every damn deal matters, and we actually going to end on this one. Here we go. What do you think? Yep. Kyler, Lamb, and the 108? Or Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert. And if you look at the chat comments, somebody said our man Berserker said a free Herbert. Somebody else was like, huh? Question mark. I don't know about that. So, 14-team league. Where are you going with this one, man?
In a 14-team league, I feel pretty comfortable just crossing off Herbert and Kyler.
So do I.
Choose who you want. Right, they're going to probably do the same thing for your team. If you're asking me CeeDee Lamb or 108 or Justin Jefferson, I'm just going to take CeeDee and the 108 in that case. CeeDee and the 108,
easy.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Justin Jefferson's dope. He's retained wide receiver 1 for the time being, but CeeDee closed all those gaps last year. Right, he checked every box. He didn't leave anything unturned. CeeDee closed that. Yeah, you're going to get an extra first on top just to take the down tier. Good work.
Yeah, let's just put a name to it. Kyler Murray, CeeDee Lamb, Brock Bowers. Kyler Murray, CeeDee Lamb, Brian Thomas Jr. That's or Kyler, CeeDee Lamb, JJ McCarthy, Drake May. If one of those guys falls. So I think I lean on that side. No guts, no sausage. I don't even want to. Some of these names are. I'm not going to get into what.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, we ain't going to get into that. Here we go. Last one. Do we want to do Ridley and Allen? Where do we want to go for the last one? There's a 101. And what?
There is.
What is this? Okay. 12-team, 2QB, PPR start 11. Would you rather Ridley, Garrett Wilson, 101 and 309, Josh Allen, 25 first, 25 second, from the squad that traded away, from the team that you're trading with? So you're kind of betting against the manager that you're making the trade with. Josh Allen, first and a second, 101, Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley, 309. This feels Josh Allen. Do you want Josh Allen in this deal?
It's not often you see a first and Josh Allen on the same side of the trade ledger, right? Yeah, I'm going to take the goat ring side of this one.
Same.
I think you can. with the package that you got, I think you can get that same return probably anytime. Swap the wide receivers around to your liking. Yeah, I'm going to take Josh Allen. Like, dope that Buddy got the 101 and Garrett Wilson's a dope wide receiver. I think you can do a lot with that, but I'm taking Josh Allen.
All right, is there any more foolishness that we can look at before we get out of here? We got to make sure we get people to submit some more for next week. But I think, we're back into February, so I think we shall wrap right there. That is your debut, Ty, over here on Destination Devy, your debut. First time kind of flying co-pilot with the trade show. So appreciate you being here. And again, more of you on Destination Devy doing the thing that you love, doing the thing that we all trust you to do, evaluate trades, provide some analysis and feedback. So if you enjoyed, my man Ty DeClaire, hit that thumbs up button, like the content below, subscribe to the channel. Ty, appreciate you, man. Let the people know where they can find you at on X.
Yes, Ty DeClaire 44. Come hit me up. Ray, really enjoyed chopping it up. Hopefully this is actionable and or entertainment. Hit that like. Patreon.com/allgas. Come hang out. I'm in there most of the day so we can chat.
Here it is right there. We'll see y'all next week. We out. Peace.